If we look over the history of Western civilization, we find that there were civilizations that were here on this planet, and have disappeared. We go back 10,000 years ago, and there were animists, the native people of the world, the Native Americans, the Indians in South America, the Druids in Europe. All of these people lived in a world of animism, which meant that spirit and matter were the same, and that living on this planet you would honor both the material realm and the spiritual realm. Animism is an academic term, created by Edward Burnett Tylor, in 1871, to help describe traditional spirituality, or religious beliefs, that everything has a soul. According to Tylor, animism is the fundamental form of religion. Back in the late 1800s, and the early 1900s, European anthropologists were obsessed with discovering the most primitive religion, and from their colonial perspective, they based their arguments on data from indigenous cultures of Australia, Africa, Oceania, and the Americas, which they viewed as the primitive cultures of the world. Tylor's theory of animism was an evolutionary theory of religion. Tylor didn't try to reconcile science and religion, however, he wanted to present religion under the domain of scientific understanding. Darwin himself was a fan of his theory, that he wrote a letter saying how much he loved the evolutionary model of religion. However, modern scholars have largely rejected Tylor's version of animism, because of its ethnocentrism and evolutionism. Animism now thrives as a religion, and as a label for a particular kind of religion. An example of faith with animism roots is the Japanese folk religion, Shinto. Animism can be dated back to the beginning of mankind. The actual date cannot be determined because animism is widely spread of many countries such as Asia, Africa, Brazil, South America, and the Amazon. Animism isn't a religion, if you compare to Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, but those who follow animism considers it to be religion itself. Animism isn't an organized religion, meaning it doesn't have an institution, example, a church. Animism doesn't even have a sacred literature, meaning, they don't have any written holy scripts or texts. Animists believed the environment as the holy site, and pray space. However, animism faded away as polytheism came into presence. And polytheism, such as the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians, what did they do? They took the spirit out of the individuals of the world, as the animists saw it, and coalesced these spirit into gods, multiple gods. A god of water, a god of crops, a god of stars, gods for everything that we saw. But it took spirituality out of our everyday world, and put them into figurehead gods. Polytheism also faded out, as a new belief, monotheism, came into being. Monotheism collected all of the spirits of this planet, put it into one god, and sent that god off the planet. So we left time behind where everything was spiritual, to a current time where nothing is spiritual. Except God, in another place. And after monotheism, a new and current civilization arrived, and that is called scientific materialism. And scientific materialism is today's world, where we start to recognize there's a material realm, and that we don't even need to understand a spiritual realm. We think we can live here, just by understanding the physical, material nature of the planet. Well, as we can see, we've been through several civilizations. And we're facing the end of the current civilization of scientific materialism. Every civilization has a cycle, like anything in the universe. A star is born, matures, and dies. People are born, mature, and die. And so does civilization. And as a civilization is created, the first phase is life, where children are experiencing life, a developmental phase where we try all different kinds of things, try them out. However, as we mature, we begin to have very rigid beliefs about how the way civilization and the universe work. Now, there's an unfortunate part to that, because once we have a rigid belief, we're in trouble for a very simple reason. Nothing in the universe stays the same. Everything is always moving and transforming itself. So the reality of rigid belief leads to crises, challenges that we must face. Not facing those challenges causes a civilization to go into decline and collapse. If you liked this video, then don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and visit our website, sciencereligionandsociety.com.